Hey, everybody out there in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, uh, Twitch, and Twitter. Now, land. It's your boy Rome, Rome the artist. I normally have a nice little opener, but it just didn't work this time, so not gonna stress too heavy. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be in the shop working on some stuff. I'm also gonna show you some stuff that I've already completed, but gotta, I'm a one man band over here, so gotta switch it up. There you go. Then that is this button. So this is what I'm working on. This is a motorcycle seat. I'm gonna do some trimming under the bottom here. Gotta remove these tabs. They've been thoroughly welded down pretty much, but you gotta remove the tabs, and then we're gonna make sure that it's not gonna come up at all. If we gotta go above and beyond to get it done. And yeah, it's got some it's based on this artwork here. So the last part we got to do, it's based on the artwork, but the last thing we got to do is got to get this what I'm calling eye makeup done. So we're gonna start with I got a little wash of black here, and we always have a little piece of scrap leather. Always got a little piece of scrap leather to test your brush out. And your water over here. I need to move my water over here. It's a little bit better over here. All right, and I like to work with a wash with the leather dye, and just kind of build it up. So what I'm doing here is I'm brushing in. Got to put in the eye makeup. Got to do contouring and shadows, and this wash is way too dark. This wash is way too dark. Well, it's way too wet. That's what it was. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. This is what we do in the shop. I'm only gonna be on here for a little bit because, like I said, it's been a busy week. I normally spend a little bit more time on here, but it's been a really busy week. Hectic. And now this is barely color on here. And what we're doing is, here, let's see if we can get him zoomed in here. Zoomed in, get a little closer to what I'm doing here, so you guys can see what's going on. Zoom in a little bit more. A little bit more. I think I zoomed in too far. That's what happens when you're your own cameraman, studio hand, and everything. Go that way, goes that way, go this way, go that way, go that way. All right. That's it right there. Perfect. Perfection. Yeah. What I'm gonna need some original music. This way I could jam out. If y'all know anybody got original music? Let that cut off. Pause due to poor connection. Let me shape this brush real quick. And over here. Shape the brush a little bit so you get the little lines that we need. Yep. Starting to get there. Starting to get there. So for my Instagram people, for the people who was watching me on Instagram, I'm sorry the connection got broke. It's being weird. What's going on, brother? Brother Eugene? Brother Gene? See if we can get the comments over here. Load comments. Facebook chat. If I can get the comments over here, then I can answer over here really fast. Really fast in a hurry. But it's not working. I'll be here for a while, doing a little painting. Gotta be careful not to stick it too close in the eye. Wow. Everything's falling apart over here. It's just where I monitor this stuff. Hey folks, I'm gonna be I have to monitor my going live because apparently it's generating captions. How cool is that? The live is generating captions, everybody. That's cool. It's way too dark. Alright. Look on the other side here. That's not the color we need. Still too daggone dark. It's gonna eventually get that dark, but I don't know. I don't want it that dark right now. So I got a couple more shows coming outside of talk, stuff like that. It's gonna be really cool. I done messed around and figured out how to do it. Sometimes I can be a bit of a mess, but I bring it all together. Right. Right. Just getting there. What the heck? Are we just looking at the side of my head? My camera cut off. Oh, snap. Things aren't working well. Excuse me, people. Sorry about that. The camera cut off. Main camera feed on the shot cut off. I have to keep working on it. Just a second here. Unclip this camera so it wasn't plugged up, and this phone cuts off. But give me a few minutes and it'll be back up and running. There it goes. Ding. See, I use on my old phones and the heck. Up here where it belongs. Get it back cut on. Excuse me, guys, like I said. Get it back organized correctly where I had it before. Which I probably had it upside down like this. Excuse me, guys. You get to see, you're seeing me standing all in the way here. Zoom it in. Oh, zoom it out a little bit. Aha, we're back. See, we didn't have my stuff plugged up correctly. You see what it looks like. I'm looking at over here at my other feed. All right, here we go. Here we go. So we need to contour in here and in here, but got to use a lot of water in here and then I'll build up the color later. Don't want it too dark because it's the corner of the eye. And I'm probably gonna do my first eyebrow pass. That's what I think I'll do. Got to be careful. You don't want to mess up eyebrows. You mess up eyebrows, that's it. The ladies never let me live it down. There we go. There's an eyebrow. Thank you, Willetta, for the IG like. All right. It's not taking that well. There we go. Now it's working. Don't want it to work too much. That's why I use water, because water gives me a couple of seconds where I can mess around with it. we go. Starting to get there. There we go. No, she got a nose now. It's kind of not the greatest nose right now, but it's working. Well, we're working it up. First coat of the lips. All right, we got some lips in there. I'm gonna go with a dry. I'm gonna go with one of the newer brushes here. Only problem with new brushes is they're always a little loose from the pack. Oh, you gotta tighten them up a little bit around the thing. Much better. That's why you always be careful. You don't want to have a brush that has a big giant clump on it. You know, that big giant clump is going to get transferred directly to your work. Don't nobody want that. Alright. A little water. That's a nice black, dark black brush. Now we're gonna take this brush here, give it some wash, and we're gonna start building up the shadows that go around here. Down like that. Like water. It's almost like watercolor. You want to build it up, build it up, build it up. Breaking all kind of probably breaking all kind of painting rules. But I just put it down how I want to put it down, and then it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it works because I've been doing it long enough to where I can repeat stuff. You want to be able to do repeatable actions. Break out this little teeny brush here. The thing is, it's not pointy. Put a little hint in here to these little scales. So difficult. Don't like that brush, it's not working. Both of my other brushes keep breaking, then broke open. So this brush comes to a very nice point, so I'll continue painting some of these scales in. Just a hint of a scale. This guy's been waiting quite a while for this project. I know stuff takes a long time, but this is why stuff takes a long time, because I put my heart and soul into all of this stuff. Yeah. Nothing is just, I'm going to just whip it together. None of that stuff. I don't believe in any of that. Yeah, just do it quickly. I just want it right quick. Right quick mean not the way, not an artist's hand on it, not an artist's touch on it. You want it right quick, you can go to a computer and machine to do that. This is a piece of artwork, not something that you get right quick. Yeah. Crazy world we live in where people want stuff right quick. They can get it right quick too. There we go. Got a little couple, 2, 3 little scales on the forehead. Back to the, get some extra dark shadows in here. Work the black. Take a little edge off of the end of that. Come up under here, under the top, under the base of the nose. Dark, make it a little bit dark under the base of the nose. There we go. Make it a little bit Make the nose a little bit more round shape so it don't come straight down the head. Grab a paper towel. It's always good to keep something absorbent. Normally I have a rag here. And I'll take a lot of the dot off of a lot of the paint off of the brush so you don't get a little dot of paint that you're just moving around. Looking good. Lighten that up a little bit. Use the water to lighten that up. Looking good. I'm gonna make an actual particular wash. That's the color I'm looking for. I'm gonna keep testing it on my little palette piece here. See the color I'm looking for, because this is gonna be. I need to make a lot of it too, but this is gonna be the color of the snakes. I'm gonna go into the snakes a little bit and actually start adding some shapes. Right, I got a little contours and stuff like that that I already put on there. Why you use the before we add any details, we add the contours, the things that make it shape what it needs to be shaped like. Stuff to make it feel round. Look how much more shape that has now. Now I got to take it off the black, the shadow here, around that edge. Come on back in there. Now that's done. Let's see. From there, you can see that this comes out like that from behind the other one. Take a little bit of this light color here, and we're gonna make this shape here. We're gonna make this shadow. It goes here, comes out from under here because this is pretty dark, and then comes across like that, then down. Kind of hard to see sometimes because it's on an angle. Yeah. Gotta lean back, look at it. I come back with like a little needle brush and put in the little details and stuff. Go over here in this other phone real quick. Pause. Take a look at that. Y'all enjoy that for a second while I check. While I check it, check it out. See if anybody's on. See if anybody's commenting on my other stuff here. No extra comments over there. I am responding. If you want to chat with me, I'm on Instagram right now. Oh, well, on YouTube right now, doing it. Not YouTube. Yeah, about to go check my YouTube though. Yeah. All right. Let's jump back out. Everything is running live. Going back in. All right. Here we go. There we go. I like to leave a little highlight on the top, so it naturally lights itself. This comes over. This part is gonna be big bad black. Yeah, getting the movement, you see? Getting the movement, you see? Yep, just trying to get shape and depth. The whole purpose of all this is the shape and depth. Grab that, smack him on there a little bit, touch him on there. I'm not gonna get too highly detailed because this is an actual, like I said, this is a motorcycle seat. You don't want to go too crazy on the detail because they're gonna be sitting on this. But definitely still want to get my shape and contour really dialed in. So it makes move that over a little bit. See, it makes that whole head jump off of there. So zoom in a little bit. You see what I'm talking about? See right there, what I just did makes that head come off of there, which is the whole purpose of all the shading and everything, to get the head, to get everything to kind of jump off. And also I did the lips the way I did them to make them look kind of like she got on make lipstick, you know. So they look almost wet. back to the snakes again. Get the work done. There we go. Now this snake is in the back, so he got a lot of shadow right here. A lot of shadow right there. Then a lot of shadow underneath the chin. Make the jaw pop out. Jaw pop out. And then a little contouring. Now when I go in and put the little lines in, the little onesie twosie lines in, then the accent lines. So I'm actually not going to be tracing it out when I'm going to put accent lines in there to make stuff pop out. Damn it. Yeah, way too dark on that one. Everything I'm doing is to make it seem as though that they are round and they are bending around each other. I'm going to use a flat brush. I'm going to use a flat brush to do a flat dry brush to do to pull some of the shading off. Work double fisted. One of the treats of being slightly ambidextrous is I can work with both hands. Which not a lot. I guess not a lot of people can do. I found out I could work with both hands in boot camp. I broke my hand, and they wanted me to do a mural. I found out I can draw, and they wanted me to do a mural on this wall, and I had broken my right hand, so I had to do it with my left hand. Much better. Much more better. There we go. When that dries, it's going to be really cool. Okay. Next is this guy right here. Saying I was gonna do a little gaming today, but I don't think I'm up for it. I really don't think I'm up for it today. But depending on what the weather's like tomorrow, you might catch your boy out here on the gaming gamer side of the game. You feel me? Yeah. Like I said, I got the Outsider Talk Show coming soon where you guys can jump in there and interact with your boy. Let's move this down so you guys can see it. Move it down so you guys can see where I'm working. I'm working on the bottom snake here. That's way too far. There we go. Working on this here bottom snake right here. I'm using the other brush to soften the like I'll put this in like that and it'll be a hard line, and then I use the other brush to soften up the line. There we go. All right, look at that whole side. That whole side is what I'm considering, what I'm gonna call done for now. And I got to do this, a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And like I say, I'm working this kind of like watercolor. Just layering it up a little bit at a time. Because one thing about this leather dye, and I'm using Eco, what's it called? Eco Shed water-based leather dye. So I can go in here and add water, and it'll soften up the. I can use water to lighten the colors, because once the leather dye is in and down, it is in the leather. It's not on the leather, it is in the leather. And for something like a seat, I tend to not use the acrylics as much, because if you use the leather acrylics on something that's a seat, it's constantly getting sat on, it's constantly moving, it's constantly shaking, it's in the elements. And after I get done with this, with this, like actually working on it, I'm actually gonna take some Never Wet and make this seat waterproof as best as I can. Excellent. Lots of water, lots of water. There we go. Right and around and through. See? Now I got all the movement going all around her head. Now I got to do a little bit more dark shadow around the eyes, and then I'm actually going to call it a day with this guy. I'm not going to go too much further on it. Doing this last snake. Because of the positioning of this piece, I get to actually use both hands, because it's very rare I get to use both hands. It's kind of a treat for me. That's the thing people don't know. What you don't normally see with snakes is people don't depict the fact that snakes kind of, their bodies are these giant muscles, and they ripple and they fold. They don't just, they're not a hose. So they flatten in certain portions and they puff up in certain portions just to get around corners. You know? So if you don't depict that shape, this multi-dimensional shape, then you won't get the movement of a snake. And that's kind of what I want for this piece. I want it to really feel like with somebody walking past, they go, "Ooh, that's neat. Look at how the snakes are feeling like they're moving." Yeah. The old artist in me. This is my canvas. Not just some dude's motorcycle seat. It's a living, breathing, moving canvas that people are going to see and admire, and not only see and admire, but actually use, which is the coolest part about all this stuff. Is my stuff, people actually use the materials, the artwork. Zooming out. All right. I definitely need to darken around the eyes a little bit, but that's going to require one of these smaller brushes like this. Get in there. Be really careful about how I do it. But if I don't do it, then the eyes won't. The eyes will falling into the back of the daggone piece. So just gotta be careful, because you can't go backwards. You can only go forward. Much better. Alright, I'm gonna have to go a little heavier in here. I'm moving the piece. I'm sorry guys if you can't see it, but I gotta get the right angle to pull this die the right direction. Sticky. There we go. That's more the look that I'm looking for. Much more dramatic. Definitely more dramatic that way. Now she's looking right. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Now she's looking right. Now she's looking right. Go in here, mess with this a little bit. Give it a little contour and shape to her lips. Trying to push the blacks a little bit. When I say push the blacks, that means put more black in it. Artsy fartsy way of saying put more black. Try to make more spots where the dark gets all the way dark, so the image doesn't get muddied up by everything being the same color. And since I'm working monochromatic means one color. Where the contrast is, where the darkest dark and the lightest light is even more important because I'm working monochromatic. Things will get lost and muddied up, and everything will turn into a big mess if you don't push the blacks. And that's what I got to do. And this is the last part of the whole thing, is to push the blacks. Because once you do this, then you make a mistake here, that's it. It's in there. It's the darkest color you got. I kind of love to work. I like to work light to dark. Dark to light. Or light to dark. Yeah, I like to work light to dark. One of those. I like to work light to dark. So I can push those blacks finally. The last part I can push it, make it so that certain things, so the stuff that's supposed to stand out stands out. That's the goal is that the further away you get, the you know, when you get away from it, the more you can see the details, and you like, oh, what's that, and what's this, and what's that. You want to be able to see this thing from across the room and know what it is. Oh man, that Medusa seat is amazing. Having this thing on video really makes it so I could actually see the contour and contrast like never before. I mean, you know, I can. It's like having a bird's eye view of my work, so I can see where stuff is, like in here where it's all muddied up. I can see where I need to push the blacks. Push the contrast. See? It only takes 1 or 2 little black lines to turn this thing from a muddy mess into a legible piece. It's kind of hard to paint on leather because it's in multiple shapes. It's bending. It goes up at times. It goes down at times.